Join us for a review of the all-new McLaren GT. Let's go! In the front you still do have this very typical McLaren shape, which goes back to their very early models. So really sporty and has this drop design, like a raindrop, very beautiful. Very slim headlamps, LED daytime light, and also the main headlamp unit is LED, and optional, which is also built in here, you get the adaptive LED. The ground clearance is then between 11 and 13 centimeters. 13 then when you are in this lift mode, so you can lift the car a little bit higher when you have a very steep ramp up to your basement garage or so. And the approaching angle then is between 10 and 13 degrees again in this lift mode. 4.68 m, 15'4" or 184 inches is the length of the McLaren GT, and that's indeed a little bit longer than the other McLaren models. So of course they want to a little bit offer more trunk space, also more trunk length, that you can actually also put skiing equipment in there. Yeah, if you really liked so. Well, more to that later. Here now, what's also special is the wheels. The biggest ones yet for McLaren, 20-inch in the front and 21-inch in the rear. And you can also see the difference then in the size. That looks very interesting. Comfort-wise, of course, this car is supposed to be more comfortable. And if you put bigger wheels on it, that's less comfort. However, since this suspension here is more comfortable than the other ones, it allows them actually to put bigger wheels on there. And indeed, it looks a little bit less aggressive than the other McLaren models. A little bit more elegant, a little bit more sophisticated. However, still those big air intakes for the midship engine concept. There are also different roofs available. You can get a fixed one. You can actually get a glass roof just to look through with some, coating, and then also a special coating where you can actually look through or don't look through. We know that, for example, from a Mercedes SL or something, so you have different options as for that. In the rear, beautiful horizontal stress with very slim tail lamps, but I think that's also pretty elegant. Still, you have the typical McLaren style and huge exhaust pipes here, but like an assortment of different rings on the inside, very interesting. And technology-wise, by the way, it's always very interesting. They still keep it up here also with the GT model with their carbon fiber core that brings down the weight of the car, and then aluminum all around. So just about 1,500 kilograms or less than 3,400 pounds. And since we cannot open any engine hood, servicing is done from below. Let's talk about the engine already right now. It's a 4-liter V8 bi-turbo with 620 horsepower. Acceleration figures to 100 kilometers or 62 miles an hour is just about 3 seconds, 3.2 official, and even more important than in this case, to 200 kilometers an hour or 125 miles is 9 seconds. So the trunk right here, we also have some luggage in there, so that's 150 liters, and the height here on the lower end side is about 40 centimeters. The funny thing here is really that, this is really long. This is here 1.70 meters to this bar. So, it's not that high, but you can put very long things in there, or then, secure it here with those belts or put it here in this net. Maybe not the most practical thing, but at least you have, 2 areas where you can put things in. Good idea to get in is like this, with your back first, and then move your legs like this, and then you can fit in here actually quite well. I'm 1m86 or 6'1", you know that. And then it still leaves some headroom right there. Yeah, it's a very sporty position, definitely. The seat control is here a little bit hidden on the right side, so not here on the left side, on the right side, and then you can electronically control the seats. Need to put the ignition on for that. New 12.3-inch screen, that's pretty cool. Has a good visualization for different stuff, and I actually think the best thing of that, turn on the engine for that, yeah, always nice. So when you put in reverse gear, then you have the reverse camera directly here in the screen with a good resolution, and that's actually pretty nice. First of all, here the steering wheel, again with a nice grip, then clicking sounds here from those shifters, and you see here it has an effect when I put the plus in, I also have an effect on the minus, and vice versa, so they're not separate completely. Electric steering wheel control, and then this one here is a 7-inch small vertical screen. You connect your phone via Bluetooth only. CarPlay and Android Auto are not available yet. And GPS looks like this. Everything, let's say, is pretty much basic. You can use the GPS, is actually no problem, yes, but again, the smartphone integration would be a little bit better. Usually everything is set to the comfort mode, but when you put this one here to active, then you can change suspension, comfort, sport, and track. The same goes for the powertrain, comfort, sport, or track, depending on how aggressive you want the car to have. Launch control button, and to put in the gears, you have it here for neutral, driving, or reverse. Okay, that was 250 kilometers now. So, yeah. So if you want, the sound is still there, no problem. Yeah, and I think this 4-liter V8 bi-turbo, definitely enough performance, so you won't miss anything of that. Then with the nice shifting pedals, always a great clicking sound. And I like that they are connected to the steering wheel actually. So, there are cars, like especially with the Italian vehicles, where they are not connected to the steering wheel but fixed here. Some say that is better. I more like it directly at the steering wheel. And the interesting thing is also this lightweight car with this great handling. I mean, you don't feel the speed, especially not in the corners. So corner speed is totally dissolving. When you usually would drive this corner here, like with 80 kilometers with a normal car, it was like, oh my god, I need to reduce the speed, and you're like, oh. Definitely very stable here also at higher speeds. You do feel that the front axle is giving you some serious feedback from the road. So a lot of the modern cars, they just let you control it from the steering wheel. But here also, when there are some uneven parts on the road, the steering wheel moves itself, And now a little agile driving up the hill. Why not? Flawless agility, really nice. But again, not too extreme. That's where this, that's what this GT stands for. So it's like a respectful super sports car. And one good quote by Michel was he was just telling me, like, you lose the feeling for speed with this vehicle. And I can just confirm that. Like, wow. Yeah. So flawless and precise also in the steering. Let's see, like this. Yeah, a little bit moving over the front axle. Wow. really flawless and a lot of fun. And I really have to say, I like this gentleman super sports car. City driving now. It is indeed more silent, so you don't feel that much, extremeness like from the engine and so on. So the noise insulation is better. You don't feel everything that crisp as in the sportier models, and that's totally fine because that's a little bit more relaxing. Also, seating position and also the riding height. You do feel you are in a supercar. But it's not that it would be super much exaggerated, especially because it has this higher riding height. You feel a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more comfortable, then again, because a little bit more silent. So I really think that it is more suitable for city driving and so on, as far as it goes, for this vehicle segment, definitely. And the steering is actually quite light and easy to control, yet again it also gives you a good feeling, also when you're in the city. The suspension is an adaptive one. It gives you also a little bit more comfort than the other ones, so not all the bumps are directly transported to your spine, and I would also just leave it indeed on the comfort mode all the time. As for the overview, by the way, there's this huge glass panel in the back, so you can actually have a decent view to the rear, also to the sides. Yeah, it's always cool to have the mirrors set up in a way that you do look at those air intake vents. So that's definitely very special. Yeah, pretty cool, definitely. So the overview is actually not too bad. Also, to the front, because it always has this very flat hood in the front there. Nevertheless, you can also drive this car more or less with without an extreme fuel economy. So 14 liters on 100 kilometers would be possible. That's like 17 mpg or 20 mpg UK. And now to our conclusion for today with the all-new McLaren GT. And of course, always so unique to have those wing doors. If they make sense or not, you can discuss it all day long. But they're just super cool, aren't they? Yeah, and of course, it's the same for the McLaren. No one needs a McLaren, that's clear. But it's also somehow cool. And I think the approach to make a supercar, let's say, more approachable, more suitable to everyday driving life makes sense because, at the end of the day, why would you buy such a car? It would be a waste just to put it to a museum. It's also good that you really can put this one out to the road, that everyone can also see it. And then it's also good that it just delivers you a little bit more comfort. And indeed, hardly any one of those supercar customers really drive those ones out on the racetrack, so it makes sense to make them more suitable for more comfort. Just from the visual, I think it's even my favorite one now in the McLaren model lineup. It looks a little bit more elegant, a little bit more sophisticated, a little bit less aggressive, but that's also what the car stands for. I said it's somehow the gentleman's supercar. You can access all this power if you like, but it doesn't tell you to access the power all the time. And I think that's actually a quite good mix. Interior-wise, they also upgraded the build quality. That's also nice. Infotainment system-wise, of course, we would like to have a smartphone connectivity feature, a real one, like the Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. That's surely missing, definitely. Maybe also some more assistance systems, if you think about that. Yes, I think it does make sense also for a car like this. And of course, even more animal-friendly materials. You can go for this Alcantara option, and they also show this new super fabric for the trunk. So they're also moving in this direction. It would be good if they upgrade the offerings in this case then. Comfort-wise, the only thing is missing, I think, is the seating comfort. So yes, they do get some special seats here, but to me it was not that suitable. Suspension-wise, it was better. Noise insulation-wise, it was better. But the seat form itself, I think they could upgrade that a little bit, maybe with a little thicker cushion or something like that. And of course, if you use some fabric or Alcantara, this will also help them to give you a little bit better comfort in driving. So those are my thoughts for today. Please leave your comments here in our sections, and I hope you really enjoyed this special treat for you today. See you next time.